Hey everybody, Barefoot Dave here, and today I'm in Union City, Tennessee at the Discovery Park of America. Now, if you've never heard of this place, it's really a great museum to come and visit. And they have a little bit of everything here. There's a huge grounds with several buildings you can go in and see from historical places here around Tennessee. They have prehistoric history, they have science here, cars, space, just I'm giving you a little bit of everything. So I'm inviting you to come along with me today and enjoy this adventure. Okay, we're going up to the top of the tower. You guys are going to like this. The tower is really cool. I think it's over 100 something feet high, and the view up there is just spectacular. And we'll be able to see the entire grounds of the Discovery Park here. And you'll see just how huge it is and how much there is to see here. So here at the top, there's an air-conditioned room that you can stand in and see the surroundings. There's also some plate glass flooring here that you can step out on. Look, I'm floating above the ground. You can also walk around the outside of the tower here. And here again, they have some beautiful transparent glass you can walk right over the top of. See all the way down. How about it, folks? Isn't this beautiful? We are 120 feet above the ground here on the tower. The grounds here are just absolutely beautiful, well kept. There's plenty to see and do here on the property. I've had to remove my cap up here on the tower because it's so windy. It'll blow my hat off, and I don't want to lose my hat down on the ground there. It's a long ways down. But I love it up here. It is so nice. So as you can see down below, here's some more of the park. There's an old drugstore down there, Firehouse, City Hall. There's some trains and a church down there. And here below us is an airplane, jet airplane actually, a space sphere, and a Titan 1 rocket. Here we have a Triceratops, and he's being chased by a T-Rex. Looks like this chase has been going on for a very long time here. Here we have a Apatosaurus, if I'm saying it right. They were 70 feet long. Pretty big dinosaur here. Here we have an Apatosaurus. Looks like he's a meat eater in those teeth. And here is the ferocious saber-toothed tiger. And it looks like he just took down a mastodon. Now, believe it or not, they have actually found remains of both of these animals in the state of Tennessee. The saber-toothed tiger was found in a cave when there was some excavation being done in Nashville for a skyscraper. And the mastodon bones was found in a creek bed in Wilson County many years ago. And the remains of that mastodon can be found in the Tennessee State Museum today. I believe it's a leg bone. Okay, now we're going to go through the magic bookshelf here into the medieval area. This is the room of tortures. I believe this is what is known as the rack, where they would shackle your arms and hands to this and pretty much just stretch you apart. Here's the dreaded guillotine used by the French. And here behind the guillotine is something that is terrible, absolutely terrible. This is a brazen bull, and what they would do is build a fire under the bull, as you can see here. And of course, it being metal, it would heat up, and they would put a prisoner inside of this thing and basically cook them to death inside of this bull. Isn't that terrible? Here's some other torture items. These are chastity belts for both men and women. This device here, known as the breaking wheel, was somewhat like the rack, where you would be shackled into it and then your body stretched out. And then if that didn't kill you, the executioner would just take a large hammer and break your legs and arms. Okay, enough of medieval torture. I'm getting out of here. Let's go see some better things that's happier. This is a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. Very beautiful. Here we have a beautiful suit of armor. And on his side is his sword. Next up is my favorite area, the car exhibit. And of course they have some neon signs here too. Here's a beautiful 59 Cadillac. Wow, convertible. And look at those tail fins. And right beside it is another beauty. A 57 Chevy convertible. Here we have a 1957 Chevy pickup called the Cameo. And if you noticed, it has a fleet side, not step sides. My dad actually had one like that, but his was known as an Apache. Next here we have a 48 Plymouth Special Deluxe and a 38 Lincoln Zephyr. I've actually done some neon for Lincoln Zephyr before. And here is a 1929 Ford Model A with a beautiful neon sign behind it. Look at that. And beside this Model A is a Lincoln Sport Phantom. Very, very pretty car. Here is the luxury cars of luxury cars. The Rolls-Royce 1934, and this was known as the 2025. Very beautiful old car. This kind of looks like the car that Lurch on the Addams Family drove. And look at this beautiful Plymouth here. Can you tell me what that is? It's a Superbird, very rare. Kind of looks like the General Lee, doesn't it? Speaking of which, look at here, y'all. My favorite car. I think, can you hear that? I believe I hear the horn blowing. Yep, that's the General Lee, all right. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so happy they have a General Lee here. Here below the Texaco neon sign and the Greyhound bus sign is a dang sharp looking 32 Ford Roadster Highboy. Ain't that a pretty one? Above this DX gas pump is a beautiful Mercury sign. Look at that. I love it. Look at this pretty Oldsmobile sign. Isn't that nice? Here's a very nice Chevrolet neon sign built by the Walker Sign Company. I actually just did some neon for an old Chevy sign just like this. I'll add it in so you can see it. Now we're getting into some of the war history. There's a 106 millimeter M40 rifle and a Falcon guided missile. And some of you may recognize this big yellow thing here as the big boy. Beside the big boy is little boy. This is a M3 Scout car. And here beside it is a M8 Greyhound. And then we have a M37 cargo truck. And finally, a Firehouse armored car. Don't forget to look up when you're here at the Discovery Park or you'll miss something. Here's an old airplane. I guess they would call it a biplane. And here is the Wright brothers plane. Here's a replica of a suit of armor that would have been worn by Hernando de Soto. And I have been told that de Soto came through Tennessee. And according to this map here, that would be true. As you can see, he traveled through the Appalachians, down to Alabama and Mississippi, and then up along the Mississippi coast. Here's a Native American who was just trapped in a deer. And here's a very intimidating black bear. I don't think I'd want to run up on him in the woods. I actually have a picture of my mom sitting right below this black bear. I'll try to include it in the video. We now enter the 1830 to 1870 settlement. This has to be probably one of my more favorite parts here of the Discovery Park. These old log cabins. Oddly enough, my favorite building is this barn right here. Probably because it reminds me of the old barn that was on our farm where we stored our equipment and corn and different things. I'd love to have me a barn like this. Very pretty. This old cabin here has what's known as a dog trot running through the middle of it. And that was to bring in a nice cooling breeze in the summertime. Let's take a look inside of this cabin. Here are all the necessities of life once used in the 1800s. Let's go over into the next room here. Life was very simple back in the 1800s. People did with what they had, made use of everything. Here's another one of my favorite things here at the Discovery Park is this heritage garden. I love to see a beautiful garden growing. And isn't this gorgeous? There's some tomatoes and squash there, some poke. There's lots to see here on the grounds. Next, we're going to go into the agricultural barn. If my hat don't blow off, whoo! It contains two of my loves, farm tractors and neon signs. Isn't that beautiful? I would love to take each one of these old tractors home with me. Love these old tractors. They are so neat. And the neon signs. They've actually changed things in here quite a bit. I'm not sure if this is a temporary exhibit. There used to be a whole lot more tractors in here at one time. A really good display of them. Let's go in and take a look at the old schoolhouse here, but first we have to ring the bell. Now everybody knows school is in. Wow, this is a tiny little schoolhouse, but you know what? This was not uncommon. Not uncommon at all for a schoolhouse to be this small. Let's go in and take a look at the grist mill here. Even has a unique smell in here. There, folks, is the grinding stone. The grain would have gone down through the top there and been crushed to smithereens and would have come out down under here. There would also been a sifting process that would have happened. Here would have been the public watering trough to water your horse. And right beside the watering trough here is the blacksmith shop. Let's go in and take a look at it. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. This is not the blacksmith shop. This is the buggy shop. There's some tools up on the wall. There's an old moonshine still. We had a lot of those in Tennessee one time. And if you got caught running moonshine, you might end up in a hearse like this. Here's some beautiful gardens at the Discovery Park. You can meander through. There's beautiful roses and shrubbery in there. And there's a little tower back there at the back. This is the European garden. Beautiful little fountain here. Well, before we go into the train station, I think we need to activate the rail crossing. What do you think? Okay, now I think it's safe to go up here. Oh, just heard the whistle blow. I hope the train doesn't leave without me. I better go in and get me a ticket first. Well, folks, this is what a train station would have looked like back in the days of train travel. All right, let's go in and have a look here. Oh, wow, these are nice. This would have been the dining area in this car.
At one time in the United
Isn't this
States,
something? Here's the kitchen where they have cooked the meals for the passengers. Oh, look at here, a little display for the food. Almost looks like a serving bar of some sort.
After being removed from service, it was saved by Tom Elam and sat on his farm for many years before.
Okay, let's go on back. Let's see this last car here. Oh, wow. This first class section is nice. Very nice. I think I'll have a seat here. Ah. Yes, this is nice. I could do this. I could ride on a train. That would be so much fun to travel by train, just to sit back and let somebody else do all the driving, and you could relax, enjoy yourself. Check out this big engine here. What a massive piece of equipment. And these wheels are as tall as me. Here, let me show you. Look at that. It's backed into it. Yeah, that wheel's taller than I am. Let's take a look at the inside of this 1913 steam engine. Maybe we can even blow the whistle if we're lucky. Here's the coal bin where they would have shoveled coal to put into this massive boiler here. You see inside? Wow. Look at that. Okay, let's see if we can blow a whistle here. Well, that was kind of pathetic, but we got to blow one. We got to blow the horn a little bit. All right, next here is the old firehouse. Let's go in and take a look at that. There's some very old fire extinguishing equipment. Hand-drawn and horse-drawn. And here's some beautiful old fire engines. Let's take a look at that. These have been nicely restored. Here's a router safety net trampoline used in the early 1900s to save people from a burning building. Can you imagine jumping onto that? Wow. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for today here from the Discovery Park of America in Union City, Tennessee. Hope you enjoyed this virtual tour of the grounds and the buildings. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming adventures. And until next time, make each day an adventure and have a good one.